So this would be a short video on democracy and why it generally doesn't work. And let's start with first where democracy was first implemented. Apparently the first was in Babylon. We have no real data about this except that Babylon failed shortly after. But the birthplace of democracy as we know it is in ancient Greece. Now in ancient Greece we had what you call city-states, and those cities were basically not very large. They had, I don't know, maybe 10,000 people. The biggest would be basically 50,000, something like that. And if you have 10,000 people, generally democracy can work, okay? But how the Greek people realized once they started fighting the cities between them, and one city conquered the other, and the number of people that had to vote, so to speak, became larger, they saw that it no longer works. It was later adopted by the Romans, failed again, by Egyptians, failed again, and latest by the whole world, and we can see the failure now. Now, let's talk a bit about why democracy fails. And the first reason is with the big number of people going over 10K, you cannot have a very accurate image on the people you are voting for. You don't know them closely enough to know if they are honest people, if they are hardworking, if they will do what they promise to do, and so on. So you cannot really, it's a guessing game. It's like you have a number of boxes and you choose, and one you can have a snake and one you can have a treasure, but you don't know in which, and you just choose blindly. Yeah, it doesn't work, okay? The other problem would be the time. If you have so many people that vote for you, then you have to spend a lot of time campaigning and a lot of money for the campaign. And most people cannot afford to take a couple of months just to go and spend money on campaigning. So most people will not be able to basically candidate or be eligible in reality. So to be able to campaign, the more people that vote you have, the more money you have to have. So at the level of the country you have to be either one of the richest people in the country, like Bekali or Trump, or be supported by some entities with a lot of money, like the bank cartels. So basically most of the candidates are supported by the same entities, and you're just have the impression you have a choice. In reality, there is no choice with democracy. Another problem with democracy is, at least the democracy we have now, is that when you allow people that do not contribute with anything to the thing they're voting for to have a say, you basically promote welfare state, which always leads to disaster, because it's like more and more people would be on welfare, and not necessarily, and by welfare I not only mean those people that do not work, I also mean the people that work for the state directly, and most of them don't do jack shit. I mean people that benefit with a lot of social programs and stuff like that. So yeah, you reach your welfare state and then you go bankrupt, and you're either conquered or your society breaks up or there's some revolution and so on. The other reason is that basically the people that count the votes are paid by the people that the same people and the same organization for which you should choose people. So it's like a conflict of interest there. They can fraud the vote. They can say that you have a number of votes for X or Y and you have no way of knowing. And this has happened multiple times, including in our country, in other countries. And yeah, it's not something so good. Another problem, yet another problem, right, with democracy is that it's not always who you vote for. You can see that as in Ukraine or in Romania in '89 or in Libya about 10 years or something. United States and other powers just said, okay, we are not okay with the person that was elected by the people, and they organized a coup d'etat and they replaced it with their own person during election where basically if you voted with other people you might be sentenced to jail or even killed. And so in the end you cannot have real freedom and real power of choice without fighting for it. You cannot just vote and things happen. Also, there's another problem. Basically, when you don't know the person, what is capable on, and even when you know them, most people vote based on charisma. Basically, if the people has a nice air to it, knows how to talk to people and stuff like that, but that doesn't make the person honest or able to do the job. And more often than not, people that are good at doing their job, they don't have a lot of charisma. So it's again a problem. So that's my thoughts on democracy, and see you next time.